Hey everybody, welcome to Alisas Art Room. Today we're going to be working some more on my country farmhouse junk journal. So y'all come in, say hi, let me know you're here. We are currently live on Facebook. If you see the little red button at the top left, if not, you're catching a replay either here or over on YouTube. So I'm going to make sure sound is okay and get a couple people on here and then we'll start. Get you guys pulled up so I can see chat. If it'll load. Come on. All right, volume is good there. Let's make sure volume's up here. Says it is. All right, yeah, I'm gonna do a waterfall thing today. I haven't done one in a while. And I thought it would look cute. I've got a couple of pictures I cut out of magazines to use, so we use those. Sound okay, somebody? Anybody? Y'all let me know so I can start. I assume it is, but I usually wait for y'all to say something. Nothing worse than getting halfway through your video and finding out your sound was horrible. Thank you. Thank you, Lori. Finally. All right, so sounds okay. I got a couple people on. I'm going to go ahead and pull the camera up top so we can start on this. All right, 1 second. Oh, yeah, there, iPad. And that looks straight. Okay. I meant to show you this last time, guys. I said I was going to, and then I realized after the video was over, I never did. It's not a big deal, but I told you I was getting these out of my eggs, and they have like little different things on them. This is coffee dyed, this is not. But the last one had the little joke on there, and then this one's got a little fill in your own kind of joke thing. And it always has like this bird of the month, which I think is cute. It's just like a really cute addition for them to add to their eggs, I just think. And they're very like an old-fashioned looking, like, I don't know, flyer or something, you know? So I like that. So I'm going to be throwing those in there somewhere. Don't know where yet. All right, let's see. So I got some stuff cut out to do a waterfall element. And I picked out a page, so it wouldn't take forever. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to do assuming I can get the waterfall element done quickly, I'm going to do a horse page with some horse images, horse transfers that I'm sure are not available anymore. There's some older essential stencil transfers, but you know, the techniques and ideas I show you work with whatever images you have. You don't have to use them with the images I'm using or even the theme I'm using. You can always apply it to other things. So always keep that in mind. You know, you might not be able to get the same stencil or the same transfer or the same image that I'm using, but you always have that option, just at least using the technique. So today, so this is a file folder that I coffee dyed. Well, I didn't coffee dye. I dyed it with some Liquitex acrylic ink, watered down. It still looks, it doesn't really look black. It was black ink, but it's because it's on this, what do you call that? Something with an M. Manila. It's on this manila type folder. It tends to look a little more brown. But I didn't want to use my normal black cardstock because it doesn't hold up as well as file folder material. This holds up better to being bent over and over compared to, say, your normal cardstock does. So that's why I like to use those as my backer. So I've got some images. I found, this was from a calendar, a little calendar image, which I thought was super cute. And I found these in my Mother Earth News And you have to try to find things that are similar in size so that you can do these little waterfall things. Usually I use calendar images, but I found those and I thought they were cute. So to do this, you have to first figure out, your image size and decide if you're going to back it or not. You don't absolutely have to back it if it's strong enough. Like if it's cardstock already, you could get away with just using it like it is. But these you have to back because they're super flimsy. They're just magazine images. So I cut out the backing just to fit just around it as a little frame. Okay, and I've got 4 for each image. So I've got 4 images. This one's smaller, but it'll still, we're just going to fit it in the middle. So I've got all of those ready. So we're going to back those. I just didn't want you to have to wait for me to cut it out. The size doesn't matter because it's going to depend on what your image is. So it really doesn't matter what size mine is. And then the piece that is going to be folded, let me show you my prototype. This is an older one. The piece that you're going to fold needs to be long enough to fit however many images you have with a little space in between. The space will depend on how it's going to pull. So you don't want to go too wide. You want to keep it somewhat narrow. But this one I'm going to do like a 1/2 inch. This one I think I did like a centimeter, whatever that is. I can't remember. Maybe it's like a little over 1/4 inch. And then you want to decide if you want your image to be exactly to the edge or if you want it to be inside a little bit and have your folder show a little. I'm going to make mine almost to the edge. So they're really, really close to the edge. So this is cut just slightly bigger than that black piece of cardstock. And then you want it long enough that you have room to fold it and still have your little tab thingy. And then you need another strip that's this wide, say a 1/2 inch, and long enough to go around and have a little piece that you can glue. Okay, so those are the pieces that you need. And I made this longer than images. And I'm pretty sure I did it long enough. We're going to double check. I think it was as long as I could do with my file folder piece, unless I put the fold of the file folder as this fold, which can be done too. But so this was acrylic ink, which is what I was trying to tell you, and I got sidetracked. Let's see if I have the bottle sitting here. It was this Liquitex acrylic liquid ink. You can get these. I get them at Michael's, but I'm sure you can get them other places. And I just put it in a spray bottle with some water and then sprayed it on and smushed it. So I smushed it by putting it on a surface. I happen to use the little Tim Holtz media mat that he has, and put the spray on there, and then that way you get these type of squishy images and not just a spray. So you can make it more, I don't know, I just think it looks better. So you just smush it and move it around. It's pretty easy, but that's how I usually dye these. So let's see if we've got this the right size. So you want to have it fold so that you have a tab section, something that you can pull on, and this section here is large enough for your images to separate. So I'm going to put a little mark here. I just want to make sure before I fold this. Where is my pencil? I gotta find some more of these pencils. I'm sure I can get them online, and I haven't yet. I'm going to put a little mark there. So you have all of your images go on that front bottom. Okay, so this will be my front. It doesn't really matter if I go this way or this way. I might go this way. I don't know. We'll see. And then you just start putting you could honestly just put the backgrounds, but yeah, I'm just going to do the backgrounds. So find your mark And the first one is just under your fold. So that's where my fold would be. So I'm going to lay that down there. And then I want to go, I've already got this grid here, so I'm just going to use it. I'm going to go a 1/2 inch. Zoom just a little. I'm going to go a 1/2 inch between each one. So move that down a 1/2 inch. And then move, it'll actually be the other way around. This will be on top, but I'm just getting the measurement, and it's easier for me to do it this way. And then that'll be a 1/2 inch. And this will be a 1/2 inch. So I have plenty of room because I still have this much room. Okay. It can come all the way to this edge. So that's fine. I'm going to leave the extra. I can cut it off later. And the fold on the other side was fine for my little tab. So that'll be a okay place to fold that. And that's just how you just test it, just to make sure, so you don't have to do it twice. And so we can fold this, and I want to decide which color I like. I think I like this side better. You're only going to see a little of it. I don't know. I don't guess it really matters, but we'll fold it there. So I'm just going to fold it on that mark I made, and you could score it. It might be better to score it. It tends to give a little better fold. Where's my score thingy? Make room. All right, here, I gotta move all this stuff. Just move my base, my cover. All right, so I'm just going to score this on my fold. Okay, and then you can do whichever way you want. We'll go this way. And then make sure that it's the same. See how it's off a little bit? That means that when I cut this out, I didn't do it straight, which doesn't, I'm not surprised. Sometimes I don't, but I'm going to try to finagle that score mark to where it lines up straight, because it has to be absolutely straight. So I guess I didn't do a very good job of cutting out my little piece. So we're going to line it up, and then I'm just going to fix that to where it's lined up all the way down. And if it's still not, and I have to trim it a little bit, I could. How bad is it on this side? Yeah, that side's fine. This side's just a little bit off, so I'm just going to trim it. I have room. So you might want to make yours just a slight bit bigger, so you do have room to trim it in case you do like me and don't get it lined up. I'm going to lay it in my grid so I can trim off that piece just a little tiny bit. Try to get it straight. All right, where is my ruler? So we're going to take off just the teeniest bit, straighten that up. Hopefully I can cut it that small. I think these blades are relatively sharp. Okay. So now I've got a nice straight piece. And you can just double check, make sure that fits. And you just start with whatever image you want to be on the top is the last image that you put on. So in this case, I'm gonna figure out exactly where I need to start. Actually, you could put that one on first, I guess. Let me see. I think you can. If I do that, will I be able to put that one on first and then glue it? I think it's easier to put it on last. Yeah, we'll put it on last because your base is actually glued completely down. So your last picture you see is glued completely down after you put this little wraparound on. So we're going to go ahead and score these folds. Should have kept my score out because I knew I needed that. So we're going to score those a 1/2 inch apart. Hopefully I can see my 1/2 inch on here. think that's why I kept using a centimeter, because it's just easier to see on this thing. I'll try. See if I can do it. So make sure you've got the right part. This is my pull tab, so I want to score on this part. Okay, so you start where you first scored, and then, yeah, see, I can't see. Half an inch and a centimeter are so close. Let's see. I don't know. I really kind of wanted to go a half inch. We'll go a half an inch. So I might have to flip this. It's got a half an inch, it's just on the wrong side. And it always messes with me. All right, so we're going to go a half an inch. So figure out my first mark is there. Make sure it's on a half an inch mark. Let me see where I can put this. We'll put it right there. Technically, I'm scoring on the opposite side now. Let me think about this. Mountain, score, then fold so that the valley is on the top. I don't guess it matters because you're going to go both directions. It doesn't really matter. All right. So half an inch. And then a half an inch. See, it doesn't line up. The mark is just ever so slightly off. It's so weird. I don't like when your score marks don't match your measurements exactly. That one matched. So I'm just going to use that one. I'm going to move it back to the 7 so that I can use the score mark that's in the right spot. Because mine is obviously not. So you want the same amount of scores as your cards. So we've got 1 score here. You have to count that one. So that's where 1 would go. 2 would be here. 3 would be there. 4 would be there. I think that's all we need is that many. So we'll just double check. So the last one would be there. This one would be here. Yeah, that's right, right? These are different. They're not square. Yeah, so that's 4. Okay. So that's how many scores you need. So counting this one, you need the same number as you have cards. Okay. And then you want to fold them in both directions, ideally. Here, we don't need this anymore, I don't think. So you guys can see what I'm doing here. So fold it both directions. And when you fold it, just make sure it's still lining up. So I'm going to fold them all this way first. Make sure they're actually lining up. They seem fine. And then fold it the other way. You just want it to be malleable. You want it to fold both ways easily for the waterfall. That's why I suggest using a file folder, because it just really holds up better to this. I'm just still double checking my evenness, because if it's not even, when you go to pull it, it won't pull through. All right, so now put that back down. So now we can figure out where we can trim this, and go ahead and trim that off. Let me get these the right direction, because of course they weren't square. They looked square, but they weren't square. Oh my goodness, I can't pick anything up, guys. Where are my tweezers or something? All right, so we got our 4, and make sure that's the right way. Yeah, okay. So the longer side on mine is this way, so I want my first one to be glued completely down here. I probably should go ahead and glue the images on here first, just in case I have to trim them because I mess it up. But I will end up cutting that. You want to make sure it's under the fold, okay? Don't go on the fold. Go just under it so that it can still freely move, okay? So you can go ahead and mark where you want to cut if you want. I'm going to try and put a little pencil mark here. Just a little, so I know where that's going to be trimmed. And you could leave a little border, so I might go a little lower than that. But we need our little thingy. This is basically your slide mechanism. And all it does is it just wraps underneath your bottom picture and around. And it's glued on this side, but it's not glued on this side. Okay? This is open because this feeds in there. Okay? So the glue down here just means the little tabby thing. My directions sometimes don't make sense, guys. So you want this to fit underneath, somewhere in there. I usually come up just a little bit, like I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or so. So it's going to fit here, and it's going to wrap. I don't know if one of these is better than the other. This is longer than I need. I just did it quickly last night. I'm going to try to put this on my grid so I can get my wrap straight. Somewhat straight anyway. So right on there. And then you're going to wrap it around, not too tight. You want to give a little bit of room for it to move. Let's see if I can actually cut a straight line. Kind of, sort of. And then same thing over here, but not too snug. Keep it ever so slightly loose. If you get it too tight, you won't be able to put your card through it. So, and you can test it first if you want. But that should be good. Okay, and then you just want to make sure that it's not, I haven't glued it yet, but make sure that it's not so snug that you can't get your card through. And sometimes I have to narrow this side just ever so slightly. Okay, feels about right. I don't want it so loose that it's just, you know, really moving, but you want to make sure it's not snug. And then you're going to glue these two pieces together, but not to your base. Okay. These aren't really hard to make. They're not. The first time you make them, maybe they're a little confusing, but in reality, they're not that difficult. Try to see where my glue hits here. So just enough glue to hold this down in place. You can put it on both sides. And then once I get it glued, then I'll put more glue. But you don't have to glue this part specifically down because you're going to glue the paper over it anyway. So it's not a big deal. And I didn't put it where I want because I know I'm going to trim this a little bit. And I want to make sure I'm high enough. So make sure I'm still the right direction. Yes. So this one's going to go here. So I'm going to make sure I'm high enough first, and then I'll lightly tack it down. So that looks high enough. And this is the side that you can go ahead and glue. Am I in the right way? I feel like I'm backwards now. Oh, I did do it backwards. Here, I'm going to switch this. I kind of wanted this side up. Not that it really matters, but that's what I decided, so we're going to stick with it. Alright, so this goes like this, just below our line. That goes there, and then this will be just above, like about there. So you can tack that down just a little so it doesn't move on you. It doesn't really have to have a lot because you're going to glue over the top of it anyway. Okay, just do not glue this part. That can't be glued. All right, so now you've got this piece, which is basically like this, okay? And then that's your bottom piece. So find your bottom piece that you want for your little theme. Well, first let's go ahead and glue these to the cardstock. I don't know if I can use this art glitter. I don't want to use Fabri-Tac. I might have to use Fabri-Tac. I keep moving those. I'm going to get them the wrong direction. Why do they look off? Wow, I did a horrible job of cutting those. They're definitely not the same. I might trim them. It's not probably absolutely necessary, but I think I will, if I can do it. It's hard to hold them all together. That's probably why I didn't do it. I'll try. Two, like the three back ones are a lot, not a lot, but like almost an 1/8 of an inch. Not quite. All right, where'd you put the cutter? Oh, there it is. I'm just gonna trim them so they're even. Right, there. No, they're even. So, we want our base, which I don't know which one I'm gonna use for the base for sure. I know I want this for the top image. So, I think it honestly doesn't matter. I kind of like the little piggy second, maybe. I don't know, next to the white. Sure. Or I could separate it out. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's one half dozen the other. All right, gluing this down. Because it's a magazine image, if I glue it with art glitter, it's going to leave those little lines, and I don't like those little lines. So I think I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. It doesn't do it as bad. I don't know if I want to use glue stick. I don't know that I trust it to get the edges good, and that's very important that your edges are glued completely down for this, because it's going to have to slide in and out of that little mechanism. So let me get a piece of cardboard because I'm going to probably make a mess. All right, we'll try the Fabri-Tac. Let me put my pen back in my art glitter because it's going to dry out on me. Come on. All right. Bubble, bubble. Wow, it's moving slow. It's almost time for me to either buy more or thin this one out, because after a while it starts to dry out. If you thin your Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix, any of those, you have to use acetone. All right, so I'm going to put this on here and hope it doesn't make my paper warp too much. It shouldn't. Water-based makes your papers warp. Your thin papers, acetone, or yeah, acetone-based does not as much. So that's the idea. I'm trying to get right to the edge. Like I said, it's important that, probably getting glue everywhere now. It's important that it goes all the way. Let's see if I can actually get this centered. At least somewhat. All right, that looks good. Okay. All right, that looks all right. Do another one. Make sure I'm in the right direction. Yeah. I need my holder. I made a holder for this glue to hold it upside down while I was working, but it tends to leak, even with like the pin in it. So I quit using it, but it does save me time. Okay. Let's see which side I need. This side. tell. Hey, Dawn. Lori says she's watched me do these a few times. She needs to try one. You do. They're fun elements. Everybody likes interactive elements. Okay. Okay. And one more. This one will be a little harder to get centered, but hopefully I can do it. Let's see. Looks like it's about 2 squares that way. About there. Close. If you have a lot of glue that oozed out after it dries completely, you can usually erase it with an eraser. Show the edges down. It felt like it wasn't. I think it is. Okay. All right, so all my edges look down, I think. Just double check. Yep, that looks good. All right, I think they're good. Now we got to glue them to our base. So we know this is the last one I put down because it's my first. And then I guess we'll alternate the colorful ones. Put him first. We'll put him first. So this one is going over the little thing and just at the base of your fold. So your last fold on the thing, you will line that up to there, and then we can trim this later. So should I keep these? I think I'll use art glitter now. As honestly, I just prefer it. Paper to paper, I tend to just go with my art glitter unless it's super thin. So we're going to put him down. Oh, maybe I need to clean the nozzle first. Okay, try that again. Try to get as close to the edges as I can. You do want everything to be secure on the edges. That's important for this one. Okay. Let's see. So just below your line, like not quite a 1/16 is necessary, but just enough. And try to make it straight. I'm trying to move it. It's not moving. All right, that's close enough. Okay, and you can trim off that because you don't need it. I'm just with the right scissors. I'm just going to trim it with my scissors. I'm going to leave a little tiny bit for a border. You could save that for a tag or something. All right, so then you do your next one. So we'll go with the little piggy. And you just want to make sure each time you still got your movement. You don't want to glue that. So for this one, you're only going to glue this area. And you're not going to get it onto the fold of here or the fold here. Okay, so just in between. Stay away, oh no, we'll say a 1/16 of an inch. There's not a lot of room in here, so you want to make sure it's secure, but it's not oozing into the part it's not supposed to be. It's the same thing, just below the fold. Try to line your sides up this time. I was so worried about the fold, I wasn't watching my side. Trying to get it straight. You want to keep them nice and level. And you can just double check, make sure it didn't stick where it wasn't supposed to. We're still good. Okay, we'll do our little cow, same way. I see somebody said something. Come on, go down. Hey, Bonnie. Okay, and then our cow. Same thing, just below your fold. Watch your side, make sure it's straight. All right, looks good. And then our top image shall be this one. Fold. Watching my sides. Okay. And then just double check that everything is moving just fine. It seems like it is. Okay, so this is going to be our pull tab. It doesn't need to be that long. We're going to adjust that. And then we want to make sure this goes through. If it feels too snug or anything, you can slightly trim your edge to get a little bit narrower so that it will still move. This is moving fine. Okay, so it's still acting fine. So I don't need to adjust anything there. I usually make my pull tab whatever amount I need for, one, the page, and two, in case I'm putting anything there, like a hand or a pull or, you know, something that says something. Sometimes I just shape it. It kind of depends on what I have. I might see if I have a label or something I want to put there. I'm going to put it on this page with this black and white. Thought it looked good there. So I'm just gonna pull this piece out. It's easier to work with. And then I've got a few labels. I don't know if I have something that could go there, but the idea is it'll be glued down only. Focus. Sorry, it went out. There it goes. Only here. Okay? That's the only place it gets glued. Do not glue here. Do not glue here. If you do, it can't move. Okay? It only gets glue on that little slider mechanism. Okay? So that's why that slider mechanism needs to be like at least a 1/2 inch. You could go bigger, I guess. I don't see where it would be too much of a problem if you felt like it wasn't secure enough. But I haven't had an issue with them not being, so I think it'll be fine. So this is going to go here, and you want it to be wherever you want it. Let me see if I can hold this. Wherever it pulls to the amount that you like it to, as far as, you know, hitting whatever area. I think just, you know, about here is going to be fine. I do have a black and white sticker that might look good up here. I think it still says Farm Life, but I don't guess that matters. Let me find my stickers. I saw them a second ago. Oh, there they are. Let's see, I might find something else. I wanted this to be black and white, but needless to say, my manila folder. I need some white manila folders. You know, I guess they still wouldn't be. Is manila the color or the texture? I don't know. I think it's the color, but I'm not sure. This cute little cow. Bless your heart. This plaid, I could maybe cover it with that plaid. Then it wouldn't look so out of place. The backs can be journaled on with a gel pen. So you got hidden journaling there. But I might actually cover that. So what do you think? Should I put this up there? I think I have room. I know it says, well, it doesn't say Farm Life. It says Farmhouse, so that works. I think that would be cute. All right, so we'll put this up here, I think, and then maybe put the plaid over that. That way it doesn't, as long as I can keep it flat enough, I don't think it'll interfere with my mechanism. Yeah, as long as I keep it below this mark, I think I'll be fine. So I'm just going to make a little tiny mark right there. And then I'm going to pull it out so I can work with it better. And then I want to glue that plaid. Well, it's a sticker. It'll probably stick. I don't know. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. How sticky does that feel? Yeah, it feels somewhat sticky. We're going to put probably a little bit of glue on it. Just how wide is it? It's really wide. I'd rather trim it, so I might... Almost works to that, I don't know what you want to call it, plaid, the black area of the plaid. I'm not putting a lot of glue because it is kind of sticky. So I'm just going to put a couple drops just to ensure it stays down. And we're going to try to get it straight. I'm going to put it on my grid so I can see if it's somewhat straight on here. And we'll start on this edge so I don't have to trim it. Okay, I think that'll be cute. I could probably fold that around to be fine, but I'm going to trim it. Okay, there. And then I'll trim off that, and then I got to decide what I want to put on there, if anything. It doesn't have to have anything. It can just be plain, and it can just be shaped. So that's going to come through like this. Now it matches better, I think. Am I the right direction still? Yep, okay. So we'll put the farmhouse up here, I think. Yeah, now it matches better. So, yeah, I should have room just to put this right near the top there. Same thing, I'm just going to put a couple of drops on the edges. Just in a few spots. Just ensure this stays. It feels fairly sticky. The Paper Studio stickers aren't half bad. Now I gotta see if I can get it on here straight. I'll stand up so I can kind of see. So we'll go pretty high. Think about there. Okay, that looks good. There. This will go here. And then should I put something on there or not? I could do pull to make it obvious. I have little word letter labels. Let's see if I have some that are small enough. White or black? I'm not sure. I'm not sure which would look better. Let's see if I have enough. These are, I think they're Sizzix letters. I don't remember. One of my die cuts. Words, guys. Some days. Do you think maybe white? I'm debating if the black or the white would show up on that checker. I'm not sure. Let's see. Do I even have the right letters? Who knows? Who knows if I have them cut out? I tried to cut several sets out so I'd have enough, but you know, as I use them, I go through them and then I don't replenish them. Let's see what this U looks like. I think that'll show. Think you can find an L or two L's and a P? Maybe. Maybe I can. Here, we'll just pull them all out. There's an L. Found one. Found two. I just have to find a P. If I got really desperate, I could use an R. Oh, I see one. Yay. Piece of black on it for some reason. Here's one. No, that's an R. The P's and the R's look so similar. Is that one? Yeah, that one. We use that one. It doesn't have it. This one got something on it. All right, there. Pull. I think that'll work. Fun. All right, put these back in. Just do it off the edge of my table here. I'm not sure what this set was. Oh, there's a G. I'll try to link it in my description on the YouTube for y'all. I'm pretty sure it was Sizzix, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to glue these down. So we have pull on here. So let's see, how can we center this? Let's see, we're going to get it on this grid. So I'm not sure exactly where. They're so tiny. I think they'll show up enough. They are kind of faint. So I think we'll need to go this way just a little bit. So the U needs to go just to the left of the line, I think. If it's not centered, it's not centered, but I'll try to get somewhat centered. About there. That looks pretty close. All right, so we'll try that. The U just on the left of that line. Okay. It's gonna ooze because it you have to glue it well. So just get yourself a little rag. Try not to move it as you're gluing it, jeez. It's just wiggling all over the place there. All right, good enough. Come on, tweezers, get under there. These have a little indentation on the back side. They're slightly raised on the front. That's what that was. All right, I think I'm gonna space them about that much. I'm not gonna move it too much this time. It was wiggling a lot. The glue will dry clear, so not really a big deal. Straighten my L up just a little. And that's not tweezers. And then after this, we're going to do something with a horse. I haven't done a lot of horse stuff, so get some horsies in here. All right, pull. glue off. All right, there. That'll be cute like this. You'll see this. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to try to make it black and white too. All right, so this goes here. Put the lid back on. All right, so we're going to glue it down, figure out where we want it. I think about there is good. Is that centered, sort of? Yeah, that's not too bad. So remember, you're only gluing it, I'm trying to think, okay, about a quarter of an inch from that side, on the little bar. And you don't want it to ooze over the bar or you'll be in trouble. So stay inside. I'm staying inside like almost 1/8 of an inch. Make sure that I don't ooze out. If you're really worried, you could put a little piece of plastic in there or something. Let's see if I can get this somewhat straight. Does it look straight? Hopefully it's not oozing. You don't want to move it too soon because it doesn't feel like it glued. Got to give it time to set up. All right, so that's going to be like that. And it'll, once it sits in your journal a little bit, it'll tend to flatten out like this one did. This one tended to flatten out over time. I've had this one, gosh, 2 years at least. So they do hold up pretty good. It's my little sample in my little idea book. All right, so there, cute little farmhouse waterfall page. I'm gonna put that back where it goes. If I can figure out where it was in here. Oh, it's my center, okay. It's my center page, so that makes it easy. So that goes there, cute. It's cute, and then once it is glued down pretty good, it should be fine now. And you just do like that, and you see all your little pictures. Cute. I think I'm in camera. I forgot it was zoomed in a little bit, but I think I'm in camera. All right, so cute. So, one and done. All right, so close that up, and I have a place marked for my horse page somewhere in here. Is it this one? That's the goat one. I could go ahead and do that, I guess. I saw this and thought I'd glue it down there for a pocket. I think I'd rather do the horse one first, just in case I don't have time. I'll save that for last. Let's move that back to the back. And this one. So I want one here. Oh, I need another one. Huh, where was it? I didn't mark it. I guess I didn't mark it. I thought I did. I'll double check my other book. Maybe it was in the first one. All right, so I know I want one here. I saw this page and there's a little Appaloosa that I thought would look cute here, just mostly for embellishment. I don't think I have anything on this yet. Yeah, so I can still put a transfer on it. All right, maybe I was thinking there and here. I bet that's what I was thinking. I think I'm gonna put the other one on this side and then maybe something in here. All right, so here's my thought process. I have these artist images from my artist magazine. This artist is Joseph Alleman, and he did a whole bunch of these farm barn scenes that I cut out. They're all very cute. think I'm going to use this one. I'll use these maybe for tags or something, I don't know, but they're cute. And then I've got my transfers from Essential Stencil. So, is this the package? I feel like I put them in something else. Where are they? Where'd you put them? Put them in a little container. Now I gotta find the little container. Girl, don't go losing stuff. Hold on, bear with me till I figure out where I stuck it. It's not under here, is it? No. I don't think it's in here. Maybe it is. I thought I had a smaller one, but maybe I don't. Right, maybe it is this one. I think it was this one. And there's like an Appaloosa. There's the Appaloosa. At least I think that's what it's supposed to be. I'm sure these are AI, so. Is it a true Appaloosa? Probably not. But I thought it looked good with this page. Not sure what I'm going to ground it on, something. And then this one I thought would look good with this barn somehow. So that's the idea. So this is going to go here somehow. I'm going to have to trim it down. And then this is going to go here somehow. And then I was debating if I wanted any kind of a pocket, but I think I'll make a tag maybe with a horse for in here. I think this one face might look cute in there on a tag or something. I think the rest are too big. That one. Oh, come on, Billy. I think this one. So do like a tag or something with that one. Like I said, this was something I've had it for a while. It was an Essential Stencil transfer. Let's see if I still have the packaging. It's this one. I don't think it's still available. I'm 90% sure it's not. But just says horse. Oh, I could use these too. I might use that one. A lot of times I'll use the packaging once. I think I will use that one. Maybe instead of that face. I think it looks better as an insert for that window. So we'll do that. I'll cut up the packaging in a second. And then we'll put this here. So I need to pull this out because I can't work with it like that. So I'll pull that out. And let's just mark this with something. Here, we'll just put a bone folder in there. So I need to ground it. I can't just have them floating in the middle of the air. Well, I could, but you know, that's not the ideal. So we're going to ground it with, I have like what I call grounding bits, and they're just cut up pieces that were scraps. I got to figure out where I stuck them. I had them yesterday. Let's see if I can find them. Grounding bits. Where did you go? I think you're in a big one, aren't you? Oh, gosh, my stomach. I'm so sorry if y'all can hear that. It's just a gurgling away. Grounding bits. Grounding bits are just scraps of paper that I've kept that I think will serve as a ground. So who knows what they are. They're little pieces of stuff in a folder. And I think maybe it's cardstock. No, this is cardstock. But sometimes just something simple like that can serve as a ground. I'm not sure I like that color though, so let's see if we have anything else. And if not, I'll pick something else. You know, maybe this. This is some handmade paper. Doesn't take a lot, guys. Just something. So maybe that. Maybe layers. What else do you got? I have some pink. I don't know. The pinks. There are some reds in there. Got some tea bags. What else you got in here? Anything darker? Yeah. Sorry, it's kind of hard to go through. It's a little bit messy. If I don't see anything in here, I could always grab something from a different printable. I might tear that first, but I don't know. I like the darkness of it. It doesn't look good with the pink though. Anything else? What is that? It's like a frayed piece of fabric that's got glue for stiffener. That was the edge of something. Looks like grass, kind of. I don't know if I have any more of it. Do you have any more of that in here? Probably not. Now I can darken this too. I could just put some ink on it, which I might do. I like this little bit of grass though. It's like grass. Put it behind. Just kind of sticking out of there. Could be interesting. Maybe I'll put some ink on it. I don't know. They don't always work out with what you have, but I save them anyway. Let's try and get a little bit darker, but I think I'll just ink this to be darker. Now, I'm never going to get this back in my container, so. I don't know what that fabric was. Alright, let's throw those over there for now. So, let's see what happens if I ink this. Maybe with, I don't know, vintage maybe? Vintage or walnut? Vintage probably. Let's see. I'll probably use a brush. Didn't eat, of course. Brush, brush, brush. Where do I have a brush? Paint. Not that one. What's it? Archival. That's archival. I don't want archival either. What's this one? This one's plain. Alright, let's see. I'm just going to try and give this a little more color than it has. It's just a tad too light. That's better. And maybe darken the edge just a fraction. So it shows up good. Okay. I think that'll work good under there. All right, so I'm going to peel it until I'm ready. And then I'm going to, I think, stick this in there too, just because. I'll just stick it behind. It'll just give it a little more texture. All right, but I got to do the transfer probably first because otherwise it might be in my way. So I think I want it, I'm going to leave it to be somewhat low, so about here. Yeah, that looks like a good spot, somewhere out there. So just below that little red spot. Make sure it's clean. try to make sure I'm somewhat straight. Right about there, I think. So there's still a little bit of room for journaling if you wanted. Or it can just be pretty to look at. Where is that little tool? It's hiding here somewhere. Oh, I see it. Oops, hope it's ready. If it wasn't, it's coming anyway, because I grabbed the edge. Alright, there's that. And we want to put this underneath. I'm going to glue this to this first, I think. I want it, it's just, it looks like, see, it's like fuzzy like grass. You can't really see it super well, but I thought it would look cute behind. So we're just going to glue it on kind of like that, so it just gives a little more texture. I think our glitter should work. Let's see if I can do this. So I think I'm gonna stick it back here. Just peeking out just a little bit. And then figure out where this is going to fit best. I can have that come over his foot just a little bit right there. I think that's a good spot. So right about here. And right about here. We'll go ahead and ink that just a little bit. It's good. Okay. That'll work. Glue this down. This is somewhat fragile. It is just homemade paper, so it's not super strong. This little piece. It tears very easy. It's just, you know, just homemade paper. Over his foot slightly. So it looks like he's on the grass or in the grass. Kind of, sort of. Get him grounded. On the fold. There. Now he's got a little bit of a ground. And that'll be cute. So this was, where was this? Like this. Okay. So just a simple little addition for that page. Get this glue off my tweezers. Alright. And then we're going to do our other page. So we need this page. And let's see if I can mark this. So I want it to be here. I'm just going to make a little teeny arrow pointing up. That's where it goes. Pencil. Really? Alright, now I got to try to figure out the size for this. It's gonna have to be a glue stick, I think, because it's big and bulky, and so I think I want this to be pretty much right on the edge of this page, and then hopefully the whole barn will get on there. And then it's got a little moon there, so I'm gonna try to keep the moon, but have enough space for him in the front. Can't feel a little bit over. You could go there. I think that'll work. So it looks like about a half an inch from the top there. I'll probably trim it after. It's safer. So we're just going to start gluing this down on the top. Debate if I want to try to put glue stick on there. I need to mark it approximately where. Let's see if I can. Okay, so I'm just catching the edge of my paper. Actually, my finger was working better. It's just giving me a little bit of a line. I don't know if you can see. Just so I know where to stop the glue. Alright, so we're going to go on this side. And where's my cardboard? There it is. Okay. So a little glue. I'm going to do it in sections, I think, because I have a feeling it'll be safer. So this is the side that's going to come off. This side should be flush. There. I don't think I can put the glue all the way without just messing it up. So this is where my arrow comes in handy so I don't get it in the wrong spot. I'm going to try to keep this level. So I said about, oh, I shouldn't put glue on that top edge. It's okay. Yeah, it'll be fine. So I'm going to glue that. Am I straight? Try not to get too much into the signature. There. Get that glue off the top. I put glue there. Now I gotta try to trim that, or at least make it not sticky. It'll dry in a minute, but it's gonna take forever. I'm just gonna throw some powder on it. It's only because I shouldn't have glued it. But this way it won't stick to my table while I'm working. Alright, that should be enough. And then we're going to do the rest of this. Hopefully we're in a good spot. I think we still got the barn on there good. So now I got to do this part. I could put some art glitter on the edges maybe. Should have put cardboard under here. I'm trying not to get at the table. Trying not to. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of art glitter on the edge. That way I know it'll hopefully stay okay. I've got a little gloop there. Hopefully it does not create a problem. Smooth that out. All right, looks good. All right, now we can trim it. Not to cut my paper too much. Sometimes tricky when it's not super thick. When it's thick, it's not so bad, but when it's real thin, and it's hard to keep your scissors to sit there. The idea is your scissors, the back end of your scissors sits on the edge of the paper and it keeps it in line. I don't really know how to explain it, but it does work. All right. Side. Okay. Now, a cute little barn image on that page. And hopefully this will stick to that fine. I think. sure it feels dry. I don't think the glue is really coming through there or anything, so it should be fine. Should I cover this? I probably should. Nope, waited too long. Alright. So our little horsey's gonna go here, wherever I think he looks believable. I think he fits in there pretty good. Try to stand up and see if I can line her up good. Hopefully the lines don't show through too bad. They might, because I don't know. It's got a little bit of a whiteness to it, but not super dark. I could have tried to mark them out a little first, but I didn't. So we're just gonna go for it. It might show through. I think that looks about right. I don't see it too bad. I think it'll be all right. All right, where is my tool? Zoom back in. Not that it really matters, but why is it so dark? Oh, maybe it's the edge of the screen. A lot of times I stand up to look at my iPad and it's dark and I can't see it. And I think it's because when you look at it from an angle, it gets dark. So I'll try to get this guy on here. Hopefully he sticks to this magazine image. I don't think I've ever tried sticking them directly on a magazine image. I assume it'll work. That's my assumption. What do you think? Seems to be. Alrighty. Awesome. Get a little horsey. Get more rub. Cute. Looks like he's part of the scene. Okay. Now I can decide if I want to ground him a little bit. He's kind of grounded, but he's kind of not. We're going to use a little bit of, what shall I use? Watercolor pencil might not work on that. Archival ink would kind of work, but I'd have to put it on something. I think I'm going to go with acrylic paint. Probably in just like a brown. Let's see. What is, oh, let me grab the wrong bottle. What is that? Oh, that's metallic. We don't want metallic. Here, what's this? Real brown? Maybe. Maybe with just a little bit of green in it. I'll just mix some. And I'm just going to use a paper plate. And we're going to try to give it just a little bit of grounding. Not a lot, because I don't want it to go through. I don't think it will, because it's got... It's a coffee dyed paper. It's not super thick, but I think it's thick enough. This is classic green, but I just want to mix those a little, I think. Could probably use sap green too, but I don't want to dig and find it. And then I'm going to grab a brush of some sort, which I put away. What do we got? Maybe this one. I don't know, that might be too wide. Let me find a smaller one. About this one. I could probably use the essential stencil ones too. Alright. I don't know if I want to keep this as thick or not, so we'll have to see. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of both. Make this. I'm trying to kind of match that green. That's pretty close. I want it just ever so slightly darker, but the same tone. That should work. Alright, so we're just going to put a little bit of dirt under each of these hoofs that are actually touching. And then we might put some like kicking up, just a little, because he looks like he's on the move. So we're just going to put some speckles he really kicked up the dirt a little bit there. And this is subtle. I'll show it up close because you're not going to see it super strong. But it will blend him in just a little bit more. I could even add a little bit of a lighter color to that. Maybe like a camel or something. Maybe vintage. Oh, that's almost empty. Right. A camel. I have a Pueblo. That'd probably work. Oh, that's not Pueblo. I'm trying to find a color. What's this? Yellow ochre? That'll work. We'll do yellow ochre. There's a teeny drop. It's not showing very much. I just want some specks to look like he's kind of kicked up the dirt a little there. Just a bit. There, that works. It's not much. It's subtle. I'll show it to you up close. But you know, just little things like that make a difference. Gosh, if I can get the light on here right. All right, are you gonna focus? All right, do you see it? I hope you can see it. It shows more on my end, but it's just enough to ground his feet and make it look like there's a little something there. It just blends it into the page so it doesn't look like a sticker. I feel like my iPad is catching the edge or something. It's got to be the lighting. Can you? I guess y'all can see. I don't know. Anyway, we'll just put this aside for now. Don't need that. That's good enough, I think. I just wanted a little bit. Tiny, tiny bit. I know it's not much. Hopefully y'all can tell the difference. All right, so that's cute, right? It's just a decorative page. It's not really going to have a high purpose. So this goes like this. Now we have a horsey there. We have a horsey there. A couple of horsies. Make that a little darker. Where's that ink? A little bit light right there. I don't think I want it quite that light. Yeah, that's better. All right, and then we're going to make a tag to go in this window. Not sure if I'll have time to decorate it too, but we'll at least get the tag made. Tag, journaling card, you know, something to that effect. Don't need this brush. Put that in there. All right, so this size I think looks almost the same as this. So this should be a good item to use. So let me cut that out. I'm going to pull out this envelope. Okay, make sure it looks about the same. I can always back it. That's very close. That should fit in there. I might have to back the window a little bit, but I think it'll be good. Where is I don't know where my folder is for these. It's like I have one sticking out still, and I gotta put it somewhere. So let's just make sure I know where this is gonna be. I feel like I might, let me look at that page again. I could come over just the tiniest bit. I'm just going to give myself just a little more room with that envelope. Not much. About here, I think. I want it to come about to the edge of that. I've already trimmed these. I don't think I'll need to trim them anymore. If I don't, then this could end up in the signature, and we don't want that to happen. So just enough to where it's not in the signature and not over the edge. Not there. Okay, so let's cut this out. I'm going to back it onto something. I'll cut them both out because I can use that somewhere too. Kind of hate to waste my thing, but what am I going to do with it? Nothing. It's almost empty, and honestly I've got most of them in small small packages anyway. I'll keep this in there for now. I don't know where it is. I'm just going to set it aside. This will be a cute tag. All right, keep that somewhere else. And then figure out what color I want to back it on. What kind of paper. I'm going to trim it better. I just want to think about the colors. Could do just normal black. Could do, and that color would look great, but I don't think I have that color. Although it is really close. I'm debating if I want to use this or if I want to try to use my trimmer. I'm going to use, I don't know. I think I'm going to use the scissors, guys. It's safer. I just don't know if it'll cut through this correctly without ripping it, and I only have one, so I don't want to rip it. So we're just going to trim it with the scissors. And then figure out a backing color. Alright. It's cute, right? Let's see how much room we have. I assume I'll have to cut that if I want to leave that flap. Do I want to leave the flap? Don't I want to leave the flap? I don't really need it. I don't think I'm going to keep it. Sometimes I keep them, sometimes I don't. For right now, we're going to trim this. See where my fold is. Here. So I'll keep this one on until I decide what I'm going to do with it. So honestly, I'm not 100% sure. And I'll probably cover this with something. Do I want to secure that edge better? I do. So I'm only going to trim this about to here. And I'm going to fold it in so that it gives me a better edge. Like that. So I just got to glue that. Just want to make sure it fit first. Don't run out of time. What do we got? 30 minutes left. Okay. And then I might do something with this side so that it's a little more flush. Getting this out of the way just because I don't know for sure if I'm going to keep that fold or not. Might need it, might not. So for this, I'm going to cover this with something that matches. And then this will be in here. It'll show through, and like I said, I think it's going to show a little bit, so we're going to give it a backer. We'll give it a little bit of a backer. It's still not absolutely perfect, but it'll be okay. It'll be good enough. What color? Let's see. What do we got? We have like an orangey red. Way orange. Way red. Nope. None of those. These winter cabin colors? Don't think so. What else do we got? Got solids. Lots of solids. Probably just going to go with manila. Or not manila. What do you call it? Craft paper. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. Keep it in the brown tones. Let's see. It's not bad. The dark would look better. It does look a little better, doesn't it? All right, I'm gonna go with that. And this is a little more red to it, I think. Yeah, this one. All right, let's do that. Get my manilas. I keep calling them that. Why am I calling it craft papers? Get those put back. Catch my mic on something. All right, so let's cut this out to fit this, and we want it to fit just inside here, so just enough room that it can move. So I think about here. I want it to where it will sit on the bottom and be at the right spot. So we want the window to come about there. So I think about here. That should be tall enough. I might put a little pull tabby on it. Does it need to be bigger? Might round the edges too. We'll go a tiny bit bigger. I'll just go bigger. Not much, just a little. Teeny bit bigger, I think. Oh, am I going the wrong way? I don't know. I turned it now. I don't know which side was which. I think. Is it this side? Or is it this side? It had to be that side because I wouldn't have written that way. I'll try and see where it hits. If I go a little bit bigger. Okay, yeah, I think it needs to be about 1/8 inch more. Hopefully it'll hit the right spot. Alright, let's try that. Just gonna erase this. Glue that on there. I think I should round it. And I might even get 2 just to give it a little more interest. Something dark. Pick up those dark colors in the horse. And then I'll have to decide if I want to cover that paper with anything on that side. I don't know for sure. Ink. Let's go with scorched timber, I think. Good job. And now it'll definitely be rustic looking. It's either that or flip it, but that's fine. I don't know if this will stick to this. Archival wood, but we'll see. It might stick a little. Have to get that white edge off of there. Okay, that should be fine. Just a little bit. This is not thin, so I'm not worried about this art glitter or warping it or anything. I think it's right. Hopefully it's in the right spot. Let's see. What are you hitting? Oh, I see what you're hitting. I'm going to put paper, I think, on that. I just want to make sure it fits first with it folded and everything. All right, I think it'll fit. All right, so the back, I don't like the back, so I think I want to put something on there. I can do that fast enough. What do you got? What do I have that I could put on there? I could possibly just stencil. Well, no, I need to cover it because it has an edge. Oh, what can I use? Lined papers, tag cards. I feel like I need something like a cardstock, but I don't want it too thick. I don't know if there's a color in here. File folder I decorated. Well, it doesn't need to be that thick. Cardstock is good. That's maybe pushing it. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the other side yet. What's that? Oh, that's really thick. All right, most of these are too thick. Possibly do that or that. I want it to be thick enough to where it you know, is strong on the top there, but I don't want it to be so thick that it causes issues. I'm not sure what's going on that other side, but I could either use that or possibly that. I don't think they need to match per se, because this is going to be there, so this is not. I don't know. I'm not thrilled with either one of these, honestly. Do I have anything that's printed? I'm not seeing anything, guys. I didn't really plan for that. I have this. What is this? Will that fit? Oh, it's too small. I don't have any more of this. I don't know what that's from. I think it's Tim Holtz. It would look good there, but it's a little too narrow. What else do you got? I'm gonna find something, guys. It might take me a second. I have another. Oh, what is this? This was an envelope that I obviously coffee dyed or something, but it's not weak. Maybe I'll use that. I like this color. It's really thick. I don't want to go that thick, so I think I'll use this. I think I should be able to get it out of this middle section for sure. So let's see. I don't know what I was going to do with these. Some envelopes I had that a coffee dyed at one point or another. Who knows what my plan was? I have no idea. Wow. Good job. Maybe make a straight cut. Alright, so this needs to fit. I want to have enough, I think. I don't know if it needs to fold over. I might fold it over, so we'll leave enough to fold over. Just a little. So probably take it right almost to the edge. And then we don't want it to get into this fold. So probably about here. It doesn't interfere. I've got so many folds there I can't tell which one's which now. I think it's that one. Alright, so make sure that we do not go any further than that. Alright, so we should be able to trim this. I'm not going to trim it exactly. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. Debating if I wanted to try to trim it, but I don't think I do. So, and then I'm gonna leave enough to fold over the edge, so I'll just go all the way to that fold there, pretty much. And that'll give me room to fold that. See if I can keep it straight this time. And then this goes to here. Let's put it on our grid so we're somewhat straight. Okay, and then score it, not score it. Maybe I'll score it. So I want this to go here. I'm gonna leave the tiniest bit of that envelope showing, and then I'm gonna fold it right here. And hopefully that'll be enough to catch this just a little bit. That's the plan anyway. Let's see if it works. Am I staying on camera, guys? I forgot how zoomed in I was. Let me zoom out just a little, just in case y'all are not seeing what I'm doing. Alright, where's my little score thingy? Okay. This is taking longer than I thought. Alright. Are you that crooked? No. I just folded it in the wrong spot, that's all. Wow. I don't know how that happened. Where's the bone folder? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it still feels off. Alright, let's see if it works. So I'm going to catch that edge just ever so slightly. I'm just trying to make it match to the other side. So right about there. Let's see if we can do this. How much room do we have? Decent amount of room, okay. I'll try to catch under that just a little. I just don't want it to get on the inside any. Should have a little room there, and then I'm going to glue this whole piece down, so. It's going to go like that, and then. Fast. I want my glue to dry. Okay, I think I got it. Okay. somewhat straight. Looks straight enough. I think we'll be okay. Is it absolutely perfect? I don't know. Got a little showing right there. Where's my scissors? This is always tricky. That's why I didn't want to have to do this. I tried to get it even, but I guess I didn't. I don't want to cut that envelope. I'm going to try not to cut the envelope. Just cut the cardstock. I think I did. Okay. So now we have a backing on there that's a little bit nicer. I might not do anything with that side yet today, but basically it'll be like this. And then like this. And we'll decorate that with something at some point. And this goes in here. Hopefully it fits. Looks like it fits. It's not absolutely centered, but I think it's good enough. It should come over this way ever so slightly. And the only way I could achieve that is to trim it a little. Which I might trim it a little because I'm a little worried that it's too wide and it's gonna get in the signature. So we'll trim it just a little. I can always, I'll round the edges again. But I think it might be too wide. Try and get on my grid here. It's better, it's less than too much for sure. Because if it's too much, then it gets caught in your signature after you sew the pages in, and it no longer fits. This side's smaller anyway, isn't it? Okay, where's my little corner rounder thingy? Did you put it back over there? No? Where'd you put it? Oh, there it is. Scorched timber. Scorched timber. Now I need a tab or something to pull it in and out with. That's better. Yeah, that fits better. Okay. Tab. Where's the rest of this page? Let's see. This goes here. This goes here. This goes here. Okay. So, yeah, I think we'll be okay. I don't think we're going to get in the signature any. So, a tab. What shall I use? I have that paper I just used. I don't know if I like the color with that. I don't think I like the manila folder with it. Do I have more of that brown? I don't think I want the same. Maybe some fabric. Fabric. I have a little plaid. Oh, there's no red in that though. Green, red. I have scraps sitting here, but let me find something. Color. What is this? Maybe I could use this. I was going to use this scrap, but I don't think I want the red. I think I might use this. I'm just debating if it'll work on here, but I think it will. I'm going to have to cut it down. I think I'm going to use maybe 2 or 1. Should I just do 1? It's really holy. What if I do it the other way? I like it, but it's so holy. I have more that's smaller. Let me find a smaller piece. Hold on. What is this? I don't know what I was going to use this for. Something at some point. But let's do this. The holes are smaller, it will just glue on easier. Granted, it's gonna fray like crazy. Where's my scissors? Oh, they're there. But we're gonna use it anyway. I think I inked it or something. I don't know. Feels like it. Once I glue it, it'll stop fraying. So probably about, what, yay big maybe. And I'm going to ink that because it's, I don't know if it'll stick. It might. It looks inked on one side. Let's see if I can get this to show on there just a little bit without it fraying like crazy. Yeah, no. All right. We're gonna try it. I think it'll be all right. The glue is gonna ooze. I'll have to use Fabri-Tac for sure. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of time, guys. Almost got this done. Almost. Close. All right, let's see. Where's the center? Let's kind of sort of find a center. Is it that? I think it's that. So about here. About here, that should be enough to stick out. Now that I've moved it. Oh, it'll cover up that little dark spot I did accidentally. Oh my gosh, come out, glue. I know it's going to go through the holes. I'll probably get something to stick this on. I will probably powder it or something. Words, guys. Decent out there. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit through here. Not much. Just spread it out so it kind of stays closed. Hopefully this will go in and out okay. I know it's a little thick. Get that one piece off. Sometimes when they're thick like that, they'll snag. It'll be annoying, but we'll see. We shall see. All right, get back in there. Where's my powder thing? Been using this one. Alright, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think it's sticky. Okay. Let's see if it works. Go in there. I might have to lift it just a little bit. Alright. I think let's do something with this. I don't know yet. We're not going to do it today. I'll have to think about it. It honestly doesn't look bad like it is. And I'm definitely going to decorate this. I just don't know what with. But there, we got a couple of horsey things on there. A little tag. Will come in and out. You just got to finagle it a little. Because it's got that bump, but I think it'll be alright. And then this will go here and up there. So that'll be cute. I'll probably do something else with horses here. I do have some horse labels. I might put one up here Where's my horse labels? Let me see if I can find them super quick here. Farmhouse labels. Is that it? That might be it. All right. So I've got some horse labels. We'll see if any of them work. Got sayings. Like this says, a stubborn horse walks behind you, an impatient horse walks in front of you, but a noble companion walks beside you. This one says, some horses will test you, some will teach you, some will bring out the best in you. Horses lend us the wings we lack. Until you've loved a horse, a part of your soul sleeps. Give a horse what he needs, and he will give you his heart in return. And then just a definition of horse. So, you could possibly use some of these on here. I think they would go with this better, not Farmer's Market. You know, one of these and then something there maybe. I might end up using that other one I pulled out a second ago. I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. Maybe that. And then one of these. That could be cute. Let's decide which one, and then if I want anything here. I'm not sure about the color. These are my labels, so I could print them on a slightly different color. If that color is not good. It's actually got some of that color in there. This one just has a definition of horse. And then all those sayings that I have. What do y'all think? Any thoughts? I kind of like this, until you've loved your horse, a part of your soul sleeps. Maybe for this one. Yeah, I might go ahead and do that. We'll be over a few minutes, but that's not a big deal. And then maybe, this one says the horses lend the wings we lack, which it kind of looks like it's running, you know. Maybe one of those, or the definition. I'm just not sure about the color on this page, if I should change the color. Like I said, it's mine, so I can change it if I need to. Just gonna ink this. I cut these out with my decal. Okay, so we'll put that there. And then we'll put this here. I think that'll be cute, right? I think it's better than that one. All right, so let's see if we can get this on here. I think it's flat enough. Let's see. Hold on. We'll see exactly where I want it. I think about there, so about a ½ inch from the bottom. We have a full spread of horses. Get your little ear on there. Did you get it? Okay. That's good. I should ink this. Could have inked it before I put it together, but I didn't. Almost want to vignette it a little. I think it would look cute vignetted. You fold that enough. Sorry, we're going over a little. I try not to go past that time. One, because I have alarms set and they'll start going off. And two, because I need to eat. I'm gonna vignette it just a little bit with that scorched timber. See if I can do it. I think I can. Just a little. Yeah, that's good. I like that. More hair, and we will be good. There, that's better. That goes like that. That goes like that. This can go here. All right. Glue. Some erasers. And then the other one, shall I keep this color or not? Let me think. I think there's enough of it in there to make it be okay. Depending where I want to stick it. If I want it in the middle or over to the side. I kind of like it over to the side a little. To ink it. If there's enough on there. Almost. All right. And yeah, it'll be fine. Stay on my tweezers. We'll put it off to the side just a little bit. Okay, there. Where's our card? All right, y'all like it? We got our waterfall done. We got our horse pages done. A little bit over our time, but not too bad. Within reason, I think. And I don't know where the waterfall page was. It's on the other one. Let me grab it. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. So we have waterfall page and this. And let's zoom all the way out. There we go. So not too bad. I like it. It's cute. Okay, it's a cute addition to our journal. It's on, what's today? It's Wednesday, right? Gosh, I don't even know, guys. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday, so Friday I will see you guys and we'll work some more on this. Till then, y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you next time. All right, bye-bye. Thanks, Kim. Glad you love it.